The Ijaw people of Rivers State have vowed to join Biafra movement and also threatens to blow up pipelines in Rivers State after President Tinubu suspended their governor and declared a state of emergency in the state. The ongoing crisis in Rivers State is escalating, with discussions about separatist movements and sabotage. Some Ijaw people are considering aligning with Biafra agitation and have threatened to bomb oil pipelines as a form of protest. 3 pipelines have already been blown up in 2 days, significantly impacting Nigeria's oil output. The APC government is accused of trying to take over Rivers State politically, weakening opposition parties like PDP and Labour Party. President Tinubu's decision to declare a state of emergency and suspend the governor and lawmakers is seen as unconstitutional. There are suspicions that federal forces may be using the crisis to sabotage Rivers State's economy and justify political interference. Many warlords in the Niger Delta, who previously resisted government control, are now believed to have been financially settled. The executive, judiciary, and legislature are all seen as compromised, leaving little hope for justice or democratic balance. The president is accused of contradicting his previous stance on governance, as his administration implements policies he once opposed. The crisis in Rivers State is a symptom of deeper political instability, with potential long-term economic and security consequences. In recent days, a serious and unsettling situation has developed in Rivers State, Nigeria, that has drawn national attention and stirred heated debates about governance, constitutional rights, and the future of the nation's economy. The crisis centers on the Ijaw people, an ethnic group native to this region, who have vowed to join the Biafra movement and have even threatened to blow up oil pipelines. This dramatic announcement comes on the heels of actions taken by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who suspended the governor of Rivers State and declared a state of emergency in the area. The unfolding events have raised a multitude of questions regarding political power, constitutional legality, and the security of one of Nigeria's most economically significant regions. Many residents and political analysts alike have expressed deep concern that the situation in Rivers State is spiraling out of control. The Ijaw people, who have a long history of asserting their rights and demanding better treatment from the central government, are now considering a drastic measure by aligning themselves with the long-standing Biafra agitation. Their decision, they claim, is driven by a sense of marginalization and the belief that the current government's actions are designed to strip them of their political influence. The threat to destroy oil pipelines is not just an expression of political discontent, but also an indication of the potential for economic disruption. Already there have been reports that 3 oil pipelines have been blown up within the span of 2 days, a development that has significantly affected Nigeria's daily oil output. Given that Rivers State accounts for over 30% of the country's oil production, the economic implications are profound and far-reaching. There is a growing sentiment among many observers that the crisis in Rivers State is not simply a local matter, but rather a symptom of deeper political instability affecting the entire country. Critics argue that the actions taken by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are a clear attempt by the ruling All Progressives Congress to consolidate power in the region by weakening opposition parties such as the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party. By suspending the elected governor and several lawmakers, the administration appears to be bypassing the constitutional processes designed to protect the rights of the state's residents. This move, which many consider to be unconstitutional, has sparked widespread outrage among political activists and citizens who fear that the executive branch is overstepping its authority. As discussions and debates continue on social media and in various public forums, the voices of ordinary Nigerians are becoming increasingly louder. Many individuals feel that the federal government is not only mismanaging the state's affairs, but may also be deliberately undermining the local economy by targeting the very infrastructure that supports the livelihoods of millions. The oil pipelines, which are essential to the economic well-being of Rivers State and the nation as a whole, have become a symbol of the struggle between local interests and centralized power. The threats to blow up these pipelines are seen by some as an extreme form of protest, a desperate measure taken in the belief that the only way to force the government to address their grievances is to disrupt the flow of oil and, by extension, the financial resources that empower the ruling elite. In the midst of this political turmoil, there is also an air of uncertainty about the long-term consequences of the current crisis. Many experts warn that the actions taken by the federal government, combined with the increasingly radical stance of some local groups, could lead to a cycle of violence and instability that might take years to resolve. The political maneuvering in Rivers State is not happening in isolation. It reflects broader challenges facing the Nigerian state, including the erosion of democratic institutions and the growing influence of money and power over governance. There is a widespread belief that the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature have all been compromised by self-interest and corruption, leaving little hope for the kind of justice and accountability that is needed to heal the nation. Listening to the voices coming out of Rivers State, one cannot help but notice a mixture of anger, desperation, and a sense of betrayal by the authorities. Some speakers in recorded statements have passionately argued that the only way to halt the flow of oil, which is seen as the root cause of much of the power imbalance, is to target the pipelines directly. They claim that by blowing up the pipelines, they could force a shutdown of oil production and send a powerful message to the federal government. This radical idea is grounded in a deep-seated frustration with the current state of affairs and a belief that the central government, by suspending the governor and declaring a state of emergency, is attempting to rewrite the political rules that have governed Nigeria for decades. The situation is further complicated by allegations that some influential warlords in the Niger Delta have been financially settled and are no longer willing to challenge the federal government. These warlords, who once played a significant role in resisting external control, are now seen by many as having been co-opted by the powers that be. Their compromised position has left many ordinary citizens feeling even more isolated and abandoned in their struggle for fair treatment. With key figures in the region having been bought off or sidelined, there is a growing fear that any attempt to challenge the government will be met with overwhelming force, leaving the people of Rivers State without a real chance for meaningful change. What makes the crisis in Rivers State particularly alarming is the impact it could have on Nigeria's future as a unified nation. The actions of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his administration are viewed by many as a betrayal of the very principles of democracy and federalism that are meant to protect the rights of all citizens regardless of where they live. The threat from the Ijaw people to join the Biafra movement and sabotage key economic infrastructure is a stark reminder of how deeply political and ethnic divisions run in the country. It raises important questions about whether the current system of governance can continue to sustain a nation as diverse and complex as Nigeria.
Well, this is dangerous. The Ijaw people are contemplating on doing the unspeakable. Just watch this video. Please, I can't talk too much. The Ijaws are, I've said it, crisis in Rivers State is very, very dicey. Look at what people are saying on Twitter. Look at what people are saying. Bomb this, let's join the Igbos to create a country of our own. Bomb this, bomb that. So, listen to this and make of it what you have to make of it. Because the crisis in Rivers State is something else. I don't know. I'm even not looking at it. I'm not looking at it from the angle some people are looking at it. What I'm looking at is that a precedent is being set. Watch this video. We'll be right back.
It's not about shouting. That is the strategy. It's not about shouting. While we are clamoring for our state, and they will give us our state. They're going to give us. Our republic. Let all the Ijaw people storm it. Let us be as many as possible in that place. Storm Tinubu. Let us combine with the Igbos. While we are agitating for our own country, we combine with the Igbos so that this country will break off.
What is the first tactic that should be used to divide this country?
There are strategies. If we want those strategies, let's create a WhatsApp group and then decide it there.
Have you seen it?
To stop the oil flow so that Tinubu can provide for himself.
The only way to stop oil flow is by bombing of the pipeline.
They can go and bomb Bonny now and everything will end. They can go and bomb Bonny now and everything will end.
Tell those people to shift from those areas. When they shift, you cut it off. So you cut it off from Nembe there. You cut it off from Nembe. That is how they do it. It will explode there. Don't worry, people that it will explode on. Tell the people on time to shift. They will all shift. The ones that are stubborn will give up their life for it. The ones that are not stubborn will shift. They cut it off. We have achieved one. We cut as many. Where it flow? It's still the Ijaw houses. It flows through the Opopo to the what is it called? The Omok. You cut it off from that area too. You must bring them on their knees.
The AGF, the Attorney General of the Federation, has come out to speak on the crisis in Rivers State. It is being said that the president was ill-advised on his actions in Rivers State, declaring a state of emergency, suspending the governor, the deputy, and other 27 lawmakers. Now, Nigerians are of the opinion that Tinubu has contravened Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution. Let's watch this video and see what AGF has to say concerning the actions of Tinubu in Rivers State.
Removing the governor, removing the deputy governor. You see, you decide each case on its own peculiar facts and circumstances. Who are the people involved? Who are the parties involved in this saga? They are the governor, members of the House of Assembly. So who else should have been affected? I've heard this funny argument. I'm sorry for saying it is funny because it doesn't make any sense to me. That the president should have just gone there to secure the pipelines and then come back. When some people are there encouraging vandals to come in. The action of the president is what happened is the effect of a fundamental cause, and you cannot be treating the cause, the effect, in order to cure the cause. What was the cause? The governor and members of the House of Assembly. So you don't try to you have to behave responsibly, and you must have the guts. If it happens again, I will encourage Mr. President to do the same, maybe this time with even greater vigor and vitality. So the question of separating or treating or giving preferential treatment to anybody does not arise. You give preferential treatment to anybody, you are giving preferential treatment to hooliganism. Let's call a spade a spade. This is where I believe that we should put up our patriotism cap. It shouldn't be about individual. It should not be about anybody. It should be about the entity called Nigeria. But in this case, the Rivers State. So it is Rivers State's turn today. It can be anybody's turn tomorrow. Let the signal be clearly sent for those who want to foment trouble, who want to make the practice of democracy and enjoyment of dividend of democracy a mirage, to think twice.
Now it is clear that the AGF, Justice Fagbemi, is on the same page with the president. Also, we believe that the legislature headed by ipob will still be on the same page with President Tinubu. This is big trouble for Rivers State. As we speak, another pipeline has been blown in Rivers State. 3 pipelines blown within 2 days. And today is just 3 p.m. Pipelines are being blown. Rivers State accounts for over 30% of our oil output every day. It's going to affect the economy. It's going to affect Nigerians big time. And I pity for the people of Rivers State. However, when you look at the crisis in Rivers State, you know that the APC is interested to capture Rivers State. Final, the APC is much more interested in capturing Rivers State politically. They are looking towards Anambra. They will just give Soludo a second chance. After Soludo, the plan of Gandola, the plan of Ganduje is to make Nigeria a one-party state. There is no Labour Party. In fact, there is no PDP. We just have APC and upcoming SDP. Many people are leaving the Labour Party and PDP to the APC. Now, Rivers State is the backbone, financial backbone of the southern part of Nigeria, and also financial backbone of the PDP. So this master stroke is to destroy PDP completely by APC taking over Rivers State. That is a fact. That is one of the reasons why you see the troubles happening in Rivers State. Of course, Tinubu is going to spend 8 years, because with this kind of events, who is going to trust in our institutions anymore? Nobody is going to trust in our institutions anymore. Any other elections that you are doing in Nigeria, people will not want to be. Look at Anambra State. No PDP member was able to secure a PDP could not bring out a candidate in Anambra State because of all the shenanigans of government. However, let's watch and see how things unfold in Rivers State. The governor has spoken. Obasanjo as a person will not speak. I trust Obasanjo, because he's one of the problems we have in Nigeria. He started this impunity that Tinubu is accused of. Obasanjo did that. He removed the governor. So the president Obasanjo kept the legacy he kept. He left for other people is what Tinubu is following. So amongst every other person, Atiku has criticized, Obi has criticized, it remains Obasanjo. Obasanjo, I know, will never ever criticize the actions of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he also knows that he's one of the biggest problems when it comes to impeachment and government rascality. Obasanjo is one of the biggest problems we have. The warlords in Niger Delta, Ateke Tom, Asari Dokubo, and Tompolo. Ateke Tom is a king now. Asari Dokubo is a king. Tompolo now is a billionaire. These guys are eating money. I don't think that there will be a resistance. I use the word resistance to the federal government on this matter, because we are hearing different people saying that Ijaw people will do this and that. The main warlords have been settled. These guys are living large and living big. I don't think that they want to go back to the creeks to stop the federal government from what they are doing in Rivers State. The impunity started by Obasanjo. Now it is Tinubu. I don't think that these guys will mobilize as they mobilized during the time of Yaradua, Jonathan, and Obasanjo. I don't think they will do the same thing, because these guys have been compromised. Whatever Tompolo would say, whatever Ateke Tom would say, especially Asari Dokubo. Asari Dokubo has been making threats ever since. But you see, everybody has a price in Nigeria. That's the bitter truth. Everybody has a price in Nigeria. It's unfortunate that at this point in time, we cannot get people who can fight for the masses. We cannot get people. You can see them billionaires eating fat. The federal government knows how to settle them and make them quiet. Because I've told you, what keeps the country is oil in Niger Delta. Not the Ijaw of Lagos. It is oil. If this oil stops today, then you will know the essence of Niger Delta. That is why these warlords have been pampered, have been taken care of. You see Asari Dokubo that is shouting. Asari Dokubo that is moving from one end to another, threatening people. That guy, they will just call him at the end of the day. You see, he will just keep silent. Fubara, the only thing Fubara can do is his constitutional right is to approach the courts. The governors also, PDP members in the state should also approach the courts to defend their own rights as citizens and question the actions of the president, the Supreme Court. But unfortunately, if you ask me a question, who is the head of the executive, I'll tell you it's Tinubu. You ask me another question, who is the head of legislature? Akpabio. All those ones are brothers and sisters, now friends. The judiciary, who is the head? I'll tell you, it's Wike. So when you go to the Supreme Court, I don't think there's any way to survive for Fubara. I don't think at this point in time. I don't think the people of Ijaw can muzzle together because their own warlords, go, have been settled. What will the federal government do? Pick one or two persons who are their leaders, call them, give them billions of naira. We don't want crisis in this state. We'll settle you. We'll settle you. No crisis. Fubara is this. Wike went to Ijaw to tell the Ijaw people that Fubara is not an Ijaw man. Politics upon politics. From Fubara is an Ijaw man to Fubara is not an Ijaw man. So whatever the federal government is doing, Tinubu is doing, he has calculated his movements. Whatever he's going to do, this guy is very good at calculating. But the president, you are setting for people in the future. If you are supporting what is bad now, I did a broadcast where Tinubu made a statement when Jonathan declared state of emergency. Tinubu went against it. Even Jonathan's state of emergency did not remove the governor. But Tinubu did worse than Jonathan. You spoke against something when another person was in power. But you are now in power, you are doing worse. You spoke against subsidy. Now you are in power, you implemented this subsidy you spoke against. Why would Nigerians, why would Nigerians not be disappointed in a governance like this of the APC? Why? Double-faced hypocrisy at the highest level. Look at the APC chairman, Ganduje. APC chairman is Ganduje. And you expect people who want to an upright leadership to support them. You don't expect them to support them. Now you see crisis here and there. The people are going to suffer. This person, take a term that took over the administrator. 6 months. A lot of things will happen during the 6 months. I suspect allocation will be paid during that 6 months. I suspect a lot of money will be moved left, right, and center during that 6 months. I suspect that people are going to get a lot of alerts during that 6 months to prepare for the battle ahead. Because I know Fubara is likely to return. I'm telling you, it's only to muzzle the chief judge of Rivers State to agree with 27 lawmakers. It's only to muzzle them to agree with 27 lawmakers. If not, I don't know what is the interest of Wike in Rivers State. You're an FC minister, you left as a governor. You are using... The president is well aware of what's happening in Rivers State. Oh. He's well aware. He's not a small peking. He knows much more than us. These are politicians that have played politics. He knows what to do to make sure that there's peace in Rivers State. But yet, because of the selfish interest of the APC, they just want to take over every state as possible as they can. Look at Anambra State. PDP, nobody took governorship form. We only have Abga, that is the incumbent governor, even Abga self, and the APC, Ozigbo, Valentine Ozigbo, who left Labour Party to APC. These are the only two people you see there. And you keep on wondering, this is the kind of legacy Tinubu is going to leave after how many years? 8 years. Because as it stands now, Edo State say, Edo no be Lagos, they were shouting, Edo no be Lagos. Tinubu went there and told them that this one you are shouting, Edo no be Lagos. I'm going to take over Edo State and hand it over to APC in Edo State. They shouted, Governor Obaseki threatened. At the end of the day, what happened? They played the game. They pushed the governor aside when they were collating. The governor was a chief security officer was complaining. A chief security officer was complaining about the election. A governor who claimed to be in charge of the state. I've asked this question. Is the governor really in charge? Is the governor really the chief security officer of the state? We are blaming the governor of Rivers State, Fubara, of making baseless statements. Who is in charge of securing oil pipelines? Is it not the federal government? So why are we having blasts here and there? So if there's a blast there, who do you hold responsible? It's the federal government. The federal government should be held responsible. Whatever, I believe this looks like something that they are using to sabotage Fubara. It looks like, it resembles something like that. It resembles. I'm not sure. Just speculation. So all these things are happening in Rivers State. The biggest problem is years from now, when the table turns, those that are supporting evil, when the table turns, you don't care. Your children might be the people that will take the backlash. When bad governance returns, if you are supporting the actions of some people, when bad governance returns, I don't blame Wike, I don't blame Fubara. The elections that brought in Fubara, 40, you stole the mandate of other people, and Wike helped you. You brought you into power. So I don't support the shenanigan there. So neither will I support, because you people have an agreement, then you should adhere to the agreement. The people are at the receiving end. I'm supporting the people. However arrangement whatever arrangement you had that brought him into power, let the people not be affected. Now the people are affected. Constituency project, what the governor will do, the governor, just 2 years, the governor is doing almost nothing. The governor is doing almost nothing within 2 years because of this crisis in Rivers State. Because of somebody does not want peace to reign, because his interest, his structure of criminality is affected. He doesn't concern about the people. That's why you can call a whole tribe names because of an FCT minister, because of your interest in a state. I don't understand. Let's keep on supporting evil and let's see where this will take us. I've said it. This system, we need to change the system. If we do not change the system, we are going to be the biggest loser. The masses, whether you are Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. If you like, if you go to Lagos Island or Ikoyi, you see big buildings that different government built those years, those days. Now there's nobody there. You think by somebody building big structures, that is good governance. You build one road, you build a school, you build a lab. You think that is good governance? The fundamental human rights of the masses given to them, that is what they call governance. Not you build structures for yourself and for your structure of criminality. When Wike was building houses for the judges, you think that they were playing. They know that most Nigerians are useless and stupid now. With tight, with professor degree, with PhD, with master's degree, with big grammar, stupid, big English, we know that most of them are foolish, that they can't do nothing. They're just blabbing. They can't do nothing. The government know. That is why you see anything can go and nobody will do anything. It's very unfortunate. I hope the Ijaw people are not going to draw a battle line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his government. 3 pipelines has been bombed. I hope the Ijaw people will not foment trouble that will affect the economy of Nigeria. I will repeat it, over 30% of our oil output is from Rivers State. And if Rivers is affected, if crisis is in Rivers, you are declaring state of emergency, and the oil facility has been affected, is a big setback for Nigeria. Anything that happens in Rivers State, breakdown of law and order, will hold the president responsible. He's the commander-in-chief. He knows what he needs to do. We now know that a governor is just like paper. As we speak, with what Tinubu is doing, we know that a governor is just anything, just paper. A governor is not significant at all. A governor is just there, not significant. Just remove a governor. Like a governor cannot govern a state. An ordinary minister is making state unbearable for a governor, and it gets to a point that the governor has to go and sign an agreement with the president. It gets to a point whereby 27 lawmakers will be giving problems upon problems to the governor. The governor cannot mobilize security on behalf of his state. The federal government is the one securing the pipelines. All of a sudden, we hear pipelines are blowing up, and the governor is being blamed for his utterances. Well, I don't blame them. All of them have blames. With the way Fubara have been talking anyhow since. Talking. Nigerians will talk from now to tomorrow. What Tinubu will do, he will do. I've said it. You don't know President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you know him, you will not be talking all these things. You'll not be sitting behind your keyboard and start typing rubbish. If you know who is the person of President Tinubu, you know that this one that Fubara has gone, he will take beg. Fubara will have to go and beg Wike So anything gradual now, judiciary compromise, legislature compromise, the executive compromise. What you mean? That's the system we all agree that we will support. On your mandate, we shall stand. We are standing on the mandate now. That is the system. That is the system we agreed to support. And it's unfortunate that at this point in time,
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.